You're listening to QWERPline here on QWERPFM. QWERPline this week is brought to you by Thurston County Worst Plum Mountie. This Canadian layabout has given up horseback policing and is telling terrible dad jokes down at the Innsbruck Esplanade. Thurston County Worst Plum Mountie. Mention this ad for a discounty.
Good morning, Innsbruck. It's Big G Money here with A Train. How's it going, Alex?
I'm fuel injected and protected.
Great. What's the fuel protecting you from?
Oh, the fuel isn't protecting anything. Well, except by distance.
Great.
The best strategy is to not get hit. I mean, ask anybody who speedruns Dark Souls.
Yeah, smart. Well, I hope you're finding all the frame perfect skips, and I hope that everyone out there is finding their frame perfect skips in beautiful Innsbruck. Things will be okay soon.
I mean, it's not a bad slogan. Maybe they actually got it right. I mean, a stop clock tells the right time twice a day.
Yeah, it's the implication that they're not okay yet. That maybe Innsbruck tourism didn't think all the way through.
They're not so good at that.
They're really not.
They're very not good at their job.
But
neither are we.
No, because now it's time for the news. Grab your running shoes and a serving tray because it's time for the annual Innsbruck Run for the Cured meet. This year's route will take participants through the most picturesque parts of East Sunpaker's culvert grid, with stops every 50 meters so participants can sample a variety of exotic local charcuterie.
How can these meats be both exotic and local?
The organizers assure us it will become obvious to all runners partway through the course.
The third or the fourth?
Be sure to check out the other events like the Soprasetta Relay, Scotch Egg Cornhole, and the opening of last year's Salami Time Capsule. And the Innsbruck Nudist Apiary Club is holding their semi-annual honey sale. In addition to the honey, they'll be demoing hive construction, haplodiploid husbandry, princess raising, queen cleaning, drone strikes, swarming for fashion, sculpting the perfect bee, beard, and/or merkin, and quick how-to sessions on making your own EpiPen.
I just cringed my thighs into my torso.
They'll also be serving samples of the Indonesian dish botak tawan, which, while high in fat, contains a good source of most of the water-soluble B vitamins and, like, a lot of bees.
What? Like in the food?
Yeah. Just a lot of bees.
Is it like a cousin to Karsumazu?
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think that cheese needs any relatives.
No. Speaking of... No, he's got at least 2 relatives that I'm aware of. It's time to go now to summer intern Derek, who we've sent out to talk to the person on the street and get their thoughts on everything that's going on right now. Are you there, Derek?
Hi, Graham. Hi, Alex. Oh, no. I should be wearing a mask, shouldn't I?
Where are you, Derek? I thought you were doing a person on the street bit.
Well, that's the thing, Graham. I was walking around out for like 2 or 3 hours and this morning, and I just haven't seen anyone around. And normally that's because like most people haven't even woken up yet, even though that I'm usually up by this point. But yeah, I didn't see anyone walk out on the street. I didn't see a paper boy. I didn't see a milkman. And there's not a lot even of people driving around, so I couldn't pull anybody over and actually ask them any questions.
Good.
Well, I mean, I guess
good.
I guess that means everyone's doing the correct thing.
Yeah, so as a result, I thought maybe just the best thing to do would just kind of like walk around East Sunpakers and see if anybody's at home. And like, I've been trying like knocking and nobody's answering because I would yell out, it's like, it's me, summer intern Derek from QWERPFM, and nobody would answer, even though most people are happy to be on the radio. And I started trying doors to see if somebody was actually home. You know, kind of like they do when people go do a wellness check on my dad. So I thought, well, I'll go into somebody's house, and I found a door that was open, and I walked in, and everything seems fine. But as much as I try to ask the people who live here if they want to be on the radio, nobody wants to do this with me.
So you didn't break, but you entered.
Yeah, no, I didn't break anything this time. I mean, the doorknob's in the same shape it was when I touched it.
But you're in just somebody's house.
Yeah, and it's nice here. They have a really nice place. I love their curtains. This is why I wanted to kind of like get set up so I could talk to you from here. But yeah, they're all like on the other side of the room, and they're kind of like huddling together and looking at me funny.
I can't stress that this seems antithetical to the story we were trying to get you to cover.
Well, I think so too, right? Because I want to find out how people are putting up with all this social distancing and what they're doing. And like they're staying a good distance away from me, which is good, but I mean they're all huddling together and I don't think that's safe either.
Well, you're allowed one family unit. I did not put enough blue curacao in this.
Alex, do you think they're distancing to be responsible or just from Derek?
No, I think he scares them deeply.
What do you think I should do, guys?
Leave. I think you should leave.
I don't even have the story yet. Well, hang on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna see. Hey, do any of you want to be on the radio? Are you sure you don't want to be on the radio?
Please leave.
I guess according to vampire rules, I have to leave the house now. So, maybe we'll try again in like a few minutes.
Sure.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll go out the same way I came in. It's nice seeing you guys. It's nice meeting you, nice people too. So I'll talk to you later, all right? Bye.
Goodbye, Derek.
I thought Lois Lane got herself into a lot of trouble.
Lois Lane doesn't have anything on Derek. Now we are joined on the phone by the curator of the Innsbruck Museum, Rosemary Saltsmith, who is here to talk to us about the newest exhibit that they are showing off at the museum. I'm told it's very exciting. Hello.
Is this going to be radio safe?
Oh, generally not. Wait, let me just see if... Okay, that's working. Hello, Rosemary.
Hello. Hello, Graham. Hello, Alex. I am so excited to tell you about the latest exhibit we're bringing into the Innsbruck Museum.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Oh, well, this has been a personal passion project of mine for some years. I have finally negotiated the rights to show the world's first sexts in our town. After many years of negotiations and an agreement to swap several of our most prized dictionaries from our permanent collection, we finally have the right to exhibit the world-famous filthy Etruscan tablets.
Like filthy in content or filthy in finish?
Well, they're from 900 BCE, so a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B and a lot of P in the V.
I'm sorry, Rosemary. Did you say Etruscan sexts?
Oh, yes. Well, there are many documented historical records of people from ancient times being as thirsty as they are today. I wrote a book about it. It's on sale in the museum gift shop.
Yeah, it's the one that's wrapped in cellophane, isn't it?
Absolutely. No one under the age of 25. Just to be safe. But these Etruscan clay filth tablets are the first. They have several helpful diagrams.
Oh yeah. Are they hieroglyphics if they're from Etruskia? Equestria? That's
Oh, well, the nice thing about being a researcher in this field is that you can understand what the diagrams are showing you, even though it's been thousands of years since someone drew that particular position.
well, evolution is slow. Trends are fast.
Have the diagrams been helpful in deciphering the content of the text?
Oh, everything is translated. And as long as you're over 25, you're allowed to read them.
What?
Super.
What if you're under 25?
Oh, maybe come in with a parent or guardian.
Terrific. Is there any insight into Etruscan culture that you can share on the radio?
Oh, not covered by this exhibit, to be completely honest with you. Now, I do want to stress this exhibit is going to be very popular, but there has been a little oopsie-whoopsie boingo with getting the actual filth clay tablets into the country due to what I am discovering are some very out-of-date obscenity laws. So, the exhibit won't be opening this Friday as planned. But thankfully, we have a temporary exhibit from our guest curator that's going to hold us over.
What did they bring?
Oh, I think you should ask her yourself. Edith, come on over.
Oh, hi, Edith. You're running a guest exhibition at the museum?
Yes, it's been my lifelong dream to curate an exhibition of deeply progressive art at the Innsbruck Museum.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like you. What sort of stuff is it?
Well, unfortunately, I would only call this middlingly progressive, so my dream remains out of my grasp for now.
What a shame.
One day my vision will be here, and it will be mighty. But for now, this is pretty neat, considering I put it together in a week. I have an exhibit of American Girl dolls.
Oh, you're going to have to elaborate on that real fast, because there's a couple different meanings that could be.
It doesn't sound like you or phenomenally progressive. I'm sorry, you didn't say phenomenally. Middlingly. That doesn't even sound middlingly progressive. Also, it doesn't mesh with my mental image of Edith Slump.
You know, I like...
Oh, I started blending their voices together.
I am like a jewel, Graham. I am multifaceted. And don't worry, Alex, this is nothing that Rosemary would ever put on display. Don't worry about it. These are the normal American Girl dolls that have all been altered to look like formative figures in the American Riot Girl movement. Thus, the full title of my exhibition, An American Riot Girl. With 3 R's.
GRRRL.
Yes.
I mean, that is the progressive R.
Progressive.
I like to joke that it's got 3 R's because 1 R for every wave of feminism up to that point.
Well, so who's featured in doll form in this exhibit?
Oh, well, of course I have the Grand Queen of Riot Girl herself, Kathleen Hanna. She was the first to include. And then it was actually pretty easy to track down a Toby Vale, Sharon Cheslow, of course. But even I've gone into, where would the Riot Girl movement be without the work of incredible paper cut artist Nikki McClure.
Nikki McClure. Paper cut?
Yeah, she did a lot of the posters. Sorry, there is a minor, small person interruption. I'm babysitting my nieces and nephews, my nibblings.
Oh. Yeah,
So-
they're so called because they nibble at your heels.
Yeah.
Hopefully not literally. I had a couple of in-laws that, they were homeschooled as cannibals.
I thought you lived alone, Alex.
I do, for exactly that reason, because I don't want kids to eat me anymore.
Maybe you should be curating this exhibit. This sounds tremendously progressively artistic.
I've probably got a couple things I could pull off the shelf and stick in a museum or library or what have you.
Well, if Rosemary's tablets keep getting delayed because they're that bad, she might need another exhibit in a couple of weeks.
I could see that. So, tell me more about these dolls of yours. Where did you get them?
Oh, they were actually sourced by independent creators from all over the country. I did have to, once I realized I needed to fill the entire Innsbruck Museum, I did have to branch out into, icons of feminist music history. I managed to find somebody down in Georgia who had turned a set of American Doll twins into perfect likenesses of Kate Pearson and Cindy Wilson.
Minor point of order. Did you find them down in Georgia or Georgia?
Pretty close to the Love Shack in Georgia. And of course, we did have to go. And then I really had to start reaching. So I've also got a polystyrene and a Kim Gordon in there. That's it. It's really cool, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 dolls. And then a lot of them have piercings and they've done some really good paint work, but it's a lot of work to be a museum curator. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it seems like it would hold people over for a week.
If they walk slowly, probably.
Bring the kids.
The kids can see it. That is one up I have on all of Rosemary's exhibits. I will tell you that.
Glad to be getting the word out there. You can indeed bring the kids to the Innsbruck Museum for once.
Provided they're over 25 inches.
It's a first.
Well, thanks, Edith. While we have you, anything else going on in the arts this week?
No.
Cool. Thanks. Well, speaking of, hang on, I had something for this.
I'm sure you did. Did it disappear like a fart in the wind?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, we go now to Richter Hammock Slam up in the QWRP Traffic Quopter with traffic. How's it going up there, Richter?
Oh.
Oh, boy. Hi. It's going pretty well up here. How are you?
That sounds like a lie, Richter.
Yes. No. Everything is just fine up here. No. Ow! What the hell is going on? What who are these people? What am I supposed to do here?
Who's Al?
Al is my co-pilot for the day. He's my co. I'm doing traffic? Okay. It's looking very clear here. Very clear. Give me a street name. Burbishire Drive. Burbishire Drive is currently backed up to the Revenge of 2nd Avenue. That's definitely where all the traffic is right now. That's all the traffic, and if you need an alternate route, you should try take a walk? You should take a walk. You should absolutely take a walk. Put your car away and take a walk. Yes.
Richter?
Is that all I need to do? Wow, this was an easy one. Thanks.
Richter?
now everything's perfectly fine up here. Don't worry about a thing. Everything's just perfectly fine. It's no worries.
I'm always worried when I'm on the line to you, Richter. I have an ulcer just named after you.
Alex? Alex!
Yes?
Welcome! Hi! You'd never believe where I've been!
What? Giving us a traffic report just now, weren't you?
Absolutely! Why? When would I ever do something like that? No! I've been to the future!
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I can feel another Richter coming on.
There was a man there with a terrible suit telling me that I had to stay in the room. But you know me, I like to know exactly what I'm dealing with wherever I go. So I decided to check out the compound, and boy, oh boy, is QWERP living in the past. We don't even have an accelerator.
I mean, well, the mobile broadcast van does. We fixed it with baling wire and chewing gum.
The mobile broadcast van is a perfect example of what we could be doing. We could be putting right what once was wrong. Again, much like that broadcast van.
I mean,
remember back 2 days ago when I put that bet on that raccoon?
Yes.
I could have put a bet on the other raccoon and made a lot of money.
Yes, Richter, that's how gambling works.
That would have been smart.
It would have been, wouldn't it? But I don't have that opportunity now. But I could. Now that I know that time travel is possible, it's all I want.
What now? You were just telling us that traffic was backed up a bit on, you said, Burbisher Drive and the return of 2nd Avenue, and it's odd that you get that wrong, but not nearly as odd as you giving us actual traffic advice. You recommended that people walk.
Oh, not at all! That was the traffic report I was intending to give, which means that was the traffic report that you got. This man with the terrible suit and a bad iPhone asked me all sorts of questions about who I was, what I did, and what was going on. Give me some street names. I decided to give him everything in anticipation of me being able to extract something from him. But it turns out we got things done quicker than expected. All that guy had to do was give a good traffic report, and apparently that made things better.
They just weren't prepared to take that leap with you, huh?
Absolutely not! In fact, it was more of a leap that, well, one could say it could go either way. Sort of like a Schrodinger's cat situation.
I really wish I didn't have to observe you.
I think it's pronounced Schrödinger.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Anyway, all I know is at this point, I need to find a guy or something named Gushy. I need to get on the Google ASAP. Back to you on the ground, Graham.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't Google that.
Well, I guess I figured out what Richter did with all his Bitcoin.
Is that why the QWERP computer's been running so hot recently?
Oh, yeah. And every dime... Did they have dimes in Bitcoin? No, that went to DMT on Silk Road.
Someone should make sure that Michael gets all his wiring checked.
Ooh. Yeah.
But for now, let's check back in with summer intern Derek and see if maybe he's found somewhere to be. Hello, Derek?
Hi, Graham. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, I left those nice people in their house, and then I'm sorry, my mask must be in the way. I'm gonna just move it. And then I ran into my buddies Don and Ron from the health authority while I was walking around trying to find anybody else in the street, and I saw that big backup on Burbisher Drive. But I kind of just, before I could get a chance to even talk to anybody, Don and Ron were like, Derek, you got to go home. And I'm like, well, why do I have to go home? I have a mask. And they're like, yeah, but you got to go home because you can't be out talking to people. And I was like, but I have a job to do. I must be an essential worker, right? And they're like, you can do this from home. Graham's doing it from home, and Alex is doing it from home, and you have to do it from home too. So now I'm home, and I have to like do a man in the street from my kitchen. I can't do a man in the street from the kitchen. If I try to do a man in the street, it's going to be like my dad, and you know the kind of answers he's given before.
I mean, I would argue that you can't be a man on the street anyways. You're 19.
Yeah, when we can't put your dad on radio.
Yeah, so like I'm feeling a little down, and I just decided I'm just going to drink my feelings.
Well, hang on.
You got to listen to the ons, but
mango.
Okay, good, all right.
I really needed that. But yeah, I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, my mom's out working. I can't even get a hold of her. Dad's like, I hope he's asleep, because otherwise it means he's been out all night.
Derek, how about you? I can't believe I'm asking this. Take us inside your world. Tell us what Derek is all about.
Well, I mean, like the social distancing I'm doing, I think I've been very responsible. I have a mask, and whenever I walk up to people, they make sure to stay 6 feet away from me. So I've been kind of doing the best that I can do in this situation, and it's been pretty tough. But I still see everybody on the weekends. I go out to the park and I walk by the Esplanade, and there's that guy who's doing all that terrible jokes down there, and I don't go that near him because I also don't think he's that funny.
He's really not.
No, like his puns are terrible.
What's bad? Son, I cannot click the book.
I just feel like at this point, maybe what we should just kind of put the man in the street thing away for a bit. I might just you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll just start getting a hold of people. I'll just start FaceTiming people all around Innsbruck and see if I can get somebody on there. And if we do this right, the first person I have on my phone is Graham.
Hi.
So,
boy.
how are you doing with the social distancing, Graham?
It's been fine. It's been better, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. We've talked about this on the who's next on your list there, Derek?
On my phone, I have you guys set up. I put numbers next to your name, so I would always know who I added first and second. And the second person I have is Alex.
Oh, good.
And how is your social distancing going, Alex?
Like an Ouroboros swallowing its own tail. My social distancing is going well. As I mentioned to Edith earlier, I live very, very alone. Because I just don't like people anyways. Things have not really changed all that much for Alex outside of work.
Okay, so the third person on my list is Michael O'Leary, who has told me never to call him. And I have a little star next to his name saying I'm not allowed to call him. So I guess if I go down the list, the next one would be Edith. Edith, are you doing well with the social distancing?
Oh, I can't talk right now, Derek. I'm trying to pose a Kathleen Hanna doll. These ball joints are not what they're made out to be.
Okay, well, that's 3 people. That's kind of my contractual obligation for a man on the street. I'm going to celebrate with some cereal. Let's see here.
That sounds about right.
All right, let's have... Oh, no.
Derek?
Why does this happen to me every year?
Oh, no.
Was that just in his cupboard?
I think I know where the DMT went. How about you?
Yeah. That'll take us up to the break. So when we come back, the Innsbruck Homeopathic Animal Control Society have announced their plans for this year's raccoon control campaign. Chief Mexico Rogers is quoted as saying, "We're in the process of separating the raccoon into its component elements, dander and snarl. Once we dilute them in the correct ratios and reintroduce them to the water system, their essential memory should provide immunity to the entire town."
So they're putting tiny bits of rabies into our water supply.
Correct. So No change there.
No change.
And the Eatonsburg College of Operative Surgical Practitioners is holding their open mic night tomorrow at the campus amphitheater. So come on down and let's all find out what's inside Mike.
It's very kind of Mike to donate his body to science like that.
Donate. Yes, that's what happened. Stick around, folks. More QWERPline after this.
You're listening to QWERPline here on QWRP-FM. Thanks again to our sponsor, Thurston County Worspun Mountie. This Canadian layabout has given up horseback policing and is telling terrible dad jokes down at the Eatonsburg Esplanade. Thurston County Worspun Mountie. Go update your donor accountie.